Hello, this is Lucretia with the Calm and Confident You podcast. Today I want to talk about rediscovering things which inspire us. Sometimes the things we put off are the very things that bring us joy. For example, a couple of years ago, I bought a Dremel tool. You know, those handheld rotary tools that can sand and cut and polish and do all kinds of magical crafting things. I bought it with the full intention of using it to polish jewelry, especially my sterling silver pendants. But until this week, it sat untouched in its box. Now, this isn't an isolated thing for me. I tend to tuck away new supplies or tools with every good intention to use them someday. But life has a way of getting busy, and for the past year, business has consumed nearly all of my energy and time. Every summer, however, I participate in a craft fair, and it's coming up fast. It's now just 5 days away. That deadline approaching lit a creative fire for me. I started by making a couple of leather lash bracelets to replace ones that I had sold last year. That small step got me back into the groove. Soon I was cleaning tarnished wire and using it to wrap stones into pendants. But wire wrapping takes a toll on my hands, my fingernails in particular. So to give them a break, I turned my focus to polishing some of the sterling silver pendants that had been sitting in storage. I remembered that Dremel tool, and I thought, okay, it's time. With my car in the shop and nowhere to go, I finally had a chunk of time. The instructions were a bit confusing, so I turned to YouTube and found some great tutorials on using the Dremel and polishing metal jewelry. One woman's video was especially helpful. Even though she had attachments that I didn't, it gave me the confidence to try the attachments I did have. I practiced on a scrap piece of metal at first, thank goodness, because one attachment actually scratched it up. But eventually I found the right tools. When I polished my first pendant and saw how beautiful it looked, I was thrilled. I ended up polishing 4 more in total, and I even did one for myself. It felt so good to bring them back to life, and I found myself feeling excited. Those tarnished pendants are like neglected passions. We can forget about them and neglect them, but they're not ruined. They're just waiting for us to remember and give them our attention. Then we get to feel the happiness we had forgotten. That spark of creativity reminded me that I haven't recorded a podcast episode. And when I looked, it hasn't been since March. It's been a whirlwind, prepping for a June conference, remaking video content, traveling to visit friends and family. I even visited my brother for the first time in over a decade. Something very long overdue. It was one of those true vacations where I relaxed and genuinely disconnected from work. Coming back was hard, but I returned with a new determination. I want to enjoy my summer. Part of that enjoyment includes kayaking. But first, I had to tackle my garage to get the kayak down from the rafters. The floor was covered in boxes and belongings and things I had just shoved in there. After several days of cleaning, sorting, and organizing, I finally made it happen. I got my invasive species sticker and headed to the lake. Despite the wind, it was beautiful. Herons flew close in front of me, in front of my kayak. The breeze was refreshing, and I felt truly alive. Then came my birthday and a few well-earned days off. I kayaked again, got my birthday coffee and dessert, and treated myself to a peaceful day. But of course, life threw in a twist. My car window broke during one of those trips to the lake. The window itself didn't break, it just couldn't roll up anymore, and it fell down inside the door panel. So back to the shop it went. In between repairs and polishing jewelry, I've been dreaming about soldering again, something I haven't done in years. Last summer, right after Hayden Days, the same craft fair I'm preparing for now, I dove headfirst into a huge platform shift for my online business. It's taken a full year to rebuild, upgrade, and migrate everything. But now I'm giving myself permission to slow down and do what I love. For the next few months, I'm making joy, creativity, and connection my priorities. There is a time for hustle and a time for play. Sometimes you go deep into a project or a season of intense work. Other times you give yourself permission to breathe, to enjoy, and to create. Whether you balance both at once or dive fully into one mode at a time, it's your choice. So take a moment. Decide where your focus needs to be. Let this be your reminder. You get to choose where you put your energy, and your choices may spark your passions. What have you been putting off that would bring you joy? Remember to check out my educational website, growingemotionalstrength.com. And if you're on Facebook, you can search for the Growing Emotional Strength Facebook page, which has regular inspirational content. And until next time, be well.